Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. And so what we try and do on Milton Daily Homes, if you're just joining us, it's been almost 3 years for these videos. We've had almost 1 million people see them. What we really try and do is just add some interpretation to the information, tell you some stuff that you might not ever realize if you're just going through a straight list off of mls.ca or another site. And we also try and get the information to you faster. The other thing that a lot of people don't know is there's a delay in information between when it loads on the broker system and when it goes to the public site. So you're actually, if you're just searching on sites like mls.ca, you may be missing out. And we can also custom tailor lists too. We call it our Home Finder program, and you can just call or email us if you're interested in that. And you can also come for a tour of homes. You can meet us at Starbucks, or you can come to a buyer class. And I think the next buyer class is happening probably in about 2 to 3 weeks. So let's start off today's list. We have 12 properties. The first one up is 620 Ferguson, number 66. And I'm wondering, just from how this looks, if this is one of the properties that's actually facing Ferguson, if it's actually out from the subdivision, in which case I think it's a good thing. You get a bit more traffic driving by, but I think that it allows for the two-car parking in the driveway. It gives you some advantage there. It looks like laminate floors here and a pretty open concept main floor. So you've got a little bit of an eating area over here, and then your kitchen is over on this side. Okay, so you've got a big area for a couple couches. That's your area downstairs, and yes, that is a knight's outfit in the main entrance of the house. So whatever floats your boat, 314.5 is pretty comparable if you look across something like this at 1380 Costigan, the new Viva townhouses, the stack design. I'd actually prefer the previous one over this one here. They're both around the same size, 1,300 square feet, 315. Looks like they've done some wainscoting here, and or some, I'm not sure if they just put a piece of trim and painted it, I'm not sure. Some upgraded floors upstairs. You've got some California shutters, some moldings. I mean, it looks nice. It's funny. This is almost a house of contrast, because you've got dark over on this side, and then on this side it looks like there's a nuclear holocaust outside. So I don't know if they just had their settings on their camera, set really finely. And then you've got right side bathroom, left side bathroom, and they're almost identical. So two bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms upstairs. You've got another half bathroom downstairs below that. You park your car in the level below, and then you've got some stairs to come up into the house too. Not my favorite place to buy a house. $120 maintenance fees. They do have a second parking spot, which I believe there's been no sales of units with the second spot. The value is probably around 10 or 15,000 for that spot. 15 might be a little bit high, but the nice thing is that you're probably not paying that when you pay for the whole thing together. And these guys have a lot more upgrades than we've seen a lot of these units sell for less. Around 310 is where these ones seem to be selling, plus or minus. So with all that extra stuff, including the parking space, this one does make sense from a value perspective. So Farmstead is 379. And the unfortunate part about this is that those walls, I think, are really going to hurt them. It's a nice layout. There's a bunch of these for sale right now. This one's at $379. There's one you can pick up with a finished basement at $389. I mean, they are priced relative to the market, I think. I think there's no problems there. There is a small room. The master's huge. There's an okay sized room, and then there's a small room. And it could back onto that open field here too, which could be an advantage. There is a shared maintenance cost, same as the Ferguson ones, $50, $60, $70 a month. $68, it's paid until April 2014, but then after that it kicks in as an ongoing cost. So the thing that I would say is $68 a month, that's pretty close to $15,000 in actual purchase costs. So in other words, if you borrowed $15,000, it would cost you about $70 a month. And so you add that onto the price and you say, is that equivalent for something that I can buy that has zero extra fees? And the answer is probably yes, but I'd still be tempted, even from a kind of a future resale value perspective, getting something completely freehold would be my personal tendency. So 14 McLaughlin, 394.9. And they look really long and narrow. This is a North Star home. It's a brand new subdivision. Builder has mostly finished the basement, which I guess is a good thing. So we're going to start to see even more homes with finished basements, which is going to make an interesting contrast against some of the other builders that don't finish basements. What's the true value going to be? I mean, it probably costs you 20 or 25 bucks a square foot to finish a basement. Usually the return on it is about 50 to 80%. So in other words, if you spend $10,000, the increase in value might be somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000. Sometimes we see more. It depends on how everything else fits together. I'll give you a good example later in the video. So 57 Harris is 409. Semi-detached, so your kitchen overlooks your family room. It's a nice open concept floor plan, and then just off to the side, what you've got is a bunch of kids crap, right? So I guess they tried to take it out of the picture. They could have done a lot more in terms of decluttering this home, but that's what you see beside the kitchen. The nice thing is there's a little nook just off of here where it's a great spot to barbecue. You can put a little deck there, and then you've got possibly even some shelter, and you can actually spend some time outside there. The bedrooms are all nice size. You've got laundry upstairs. Plus, they've added a finished basement because there's really only the kitchen, family room, and eat-in area on the main level. So having the extra space down in the basement really makes a big difference. And $409 seems like a pretty reasonable price for that home. We have seen it sell for around that without a finished basement. Well, not around that, but a little bit less than that in the past. So Herman Way is $419,900. Semi-detached, 1664 square feet, and you're talking about carpet on the main floor, carpet stairs. Decent kitchen layout. You've got room for a table there. You're going to be careful how close you get to the dishwasher with that table. And then you've got 3 bedrooms upstairs. You've got a finished basement. And you've got about 15 feet deeper than most of the other properties, which I think is a really big thing. That's basically double what you find in most of these townhouses. So it definitely has value. Another thing that you might be able to scoop up where the original owner has maybe taken a bit more of a hit for the value on that they're not necessarily going to recoup when they sell. So I like the extra yard space on this one. Those are the kind of things that make a big difference. March 11th, 2013 is their possession. So it's looking like they're pretty motivated. That's about 30 days away. Good listing. I wouldn't say it's like crazy good deal, but it's definitely in the zone. Malik is in Drury Park, which is a very popular but yet sort of unknown area in Milton. So it's around the Centennial Forest, and there's Malik and a couple other streets there, Ledwith, stuff like that. And it was built by Delridge, and it's a great little community of bungalows, single garage, double garage. Some of them have lofts, some of them don't. Some of them back onto ravine and green space, some don't. Great little spot, about 70 bucks a month for extra fees. That's for garbage and snow removal. This one here is a 2-bedroom and 3 washroom. And so you've got you've got your master bedroom on the main floor, and then you have a 2nd bedroom up in the loft. So they're competing against one right now that I think is around the same price, but it has a finished basement. It doesn't have the loft upstairs. It does have the 2 bedrooms on the main level though. So I like that one. I think if it's really nice, if it says there's been a remodeled bathroom, it could be something where it beats the other one on upgrades and finishes, but it doesn't have as much living area. So Farmstead is $484,900. It's like 19 something square feet. It's a pretty big home. It's on a skinny 30-foot lot, which I'm not thrilled about. I can't stand how Mattamy has now turned, like every other builder, into narrow, thin lots where they used to have the wide lot, and it used to be an amazing thing. The layouts, the difference that you can do with an extra couple feet width in a home is tremendous. So anyways, you're basically long and narrow, living, dining right here, family in the back, and then you've got your kitchen. I still think that you should put appliances in your kitchen if you're going to sell it for close to $500,000. I think it makes the buyer's job much easier. But it is what it is. 949 Farmstead's a bit of a busier street. It says finished basement, but if you look at the room measurements, it doesn't look like it's finished. I'd be very surprised if it was. That's why you shouldn't believe everything you read in a listing. 315 Giddings, almost 2,200 square feet. There's no additional photos here. It's probably linked by a foundation wall here. So even though it says detached, there's a chance that it could be, because if you look at how it matches up with the other home, there's a pretty likely chance that that is the case. Only 3 bedrooms. With a home that size, 2,200 square feet, you'd expect probably a 4-bedroom. $499 is the price on it. Size definitely indicates that it should be there. It's competing against stuff like the Savaline, which is a beautiful house, about 2,100 square feet. Yeah, it's just a question. Most of those ones have the 4th bedroom up there, which could sabotage them a little bit. So Cochrane is $599,800. I'm not sure which model it is. 43 by 88 foot lot. So even 43 now is actually a pretty wide lot compared to what you can get from the builders. Looks like it's been very well kept. You've got upgraded countertops. A nice white kitchen can really, really look nice, especially if the walls are a bit darker and you kind of bring those cabinets out. And it looks like it's clean and tidy. The toilet seats up, but we'll forgive them. And I would say overall this one looks like a terrific house. 9-foot ceilings on the main floor. And we get into this one on Reese, which I really like. 719, about 30 square feet, 34 I think. High ceiling in the front room. And some smart upgrades, upgraded countertops here. Now the nice thing, it says that it's got 9-foot ceilings on both floors. If that's true, it's amazing. If you've ever seen a home that has 9-foot ceilings on either the second floor or the basement, it's a real treat. Okay, so we've got, hard to tell from these photos if there is 9-foot ceilings upstairs, but you've got a nice looking finished basement. You've really got nothing behind you, which is a great thing. These trees are going to start to grow pretty quickly, and so it's got everything. It's got the privacy. It's got a nice sized family home. It's got a finished basement. I mean, you look at it, you say there's not much more you could really do in a home like this, but I think there's not much more many people would want. Now, the other thing is this one's a 50-foot property, so it's one of the Mattamy 50-foot series. So most of the properties at 46 or 56 feet are only 80 feet deep. This one is 98 feet deep, and that extra 18 feet is enough for a lot of people to put a pool. You have a lot of options. 20 feet extra makes a big difference, just like we talked about on the townhouse or the semi a couple homes ago. Now, last one is Amos. It's at 1.175, about 3,300 square feet plus a finished basement. And it's a kind of a long, skinny lot. It's probably a couple acres. Now, when you look at the age of this home, it's about 20 years old, and that's probably an original kitchen. The other thing that starts to fail at around 20 years is roof, windows, furnace, AC. So you got to be really careful on these homes. You might find that there's an extra $50,000 of stuff that you've got to do just to kind of bring it back up to kind of normal, new, good operational order. But there are parts of this home that look really nice. And yeah, I would say this one here, it's probably a little higher. Like, I look at what else you can get at 1.2, and I've seen a couple homes that I'd probably rather move in than this one. But again, it all comes down to condition, and a lot of this stuff, especially when you get to this size and this quality of home, the sort of estate properties over $1 million, you got to go check them out. Like, 9 pictures, 400 characters just doesn't do the job. So if you have any questions, if you want to see anything from today's list or anything that you see on this website, just give us a call. We'll be glad to get you in, and have yourself a great weekend. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Take care and drive safe.